this Red Sea crisis, unfortunately, it is continuing. The headline is Global Shipping Rates Set to Jump as Carriers Avoid the Red Sea Amid Houthi Attacks. So the global supply chain is feeling the fallout from Iran-backed Houthi rebels attacking vessels in the Red Sea. Freight prices are set to jump on Monday, while longer transit times around Africa are disrupting and delaying deliveries of products. This is what we were talking about in the last episode or second last episode of last year?
Yeah.
Because it was just happening at the time. But essentially, these Houthi rebels, they are blocking up the Red Sea, which is a very important part of the shipping lane from the Mediterranean through the Suez Canal into the Red Sea. And the reason it's so important is it is the shipping lane between Europe and Asia. And if that is blockaded or it's blocked up, it's not working, then all the boats from Asia have to go around the bottom of Africa to get up to Europe. So it's much less efficient. That's what we saw. That was why it was such a problem when that shipping boat got stuck sideways in the Suez Canal because
That's right.
it was just it's just such an important shipping lane.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, there's a lot of Houthi rebels operating in the Red Sea, which are trying to hijack cargo ships.
Yeah.
So a lot of the cargo ships are now being halted or being redirected around the bottom of Africa. It says here, quote, the rerouting of vessels is leading to longer transit times and increased costs, John Gold, Vice President of Supply Chain at the National Retail Federation, told CNBC. Quote, unfortunately, the longer the disruptions occur, the more challenges will arise in ensuring supply chain reliability and efficiency. This creates strong motivations for ocean carriers to increase rates by establishing general rate increases, or GRIs, peak season surcharges, PSSs, and other contingency or emergency surcharges, the company said. They warned trans-Pacific freight rates could spike to highs not seen since early 2022, with the Suez Canal route suspended and the Panama Canal route restricted.
Right.
So MSC, the largest ocean carrier in the world, was the first shipping company to release rates for the second half of January. So starting Monday, container rates for MSC clients will be $5,000 for US West Coast routes, $6,900 for East Coast, and $7,300 for routes to the Gulf of Mexico.
Right.
The quote is, this is really an unexpectedly huge rate increase, HLS wrote. So interestingly, under the US Shipping Act, all ocean carriers have to give a 30-day notice requirement before they can impose surcharges or rate hikes. But the Federal Maritime Commission has waived this for shipments from Asia to the US being rerouted around South Africa's Cape of Good Hope.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah.
It's I think, and you would probably imagine that some of these costs will eventually just be passed through to consumers, and I think it just speaks to why, things like inflation are just so hard to predict. Like, there's no way you could possibly predict something like this happening or when something like this will happen. Maybe you could say, the environment says that something like this could happen at some point, but things like supply bottlenecks, or supply shocks, which can cause, sudden increases in costs for consumers are just, very unpredictable. And they can be very significant. It looks like the freight prices have been going up pretty sharply around this.
So I've got a little segment here down the bottom. What's the impact? Let's hear some stats about the impact so that you can kind of get a better understanding of it. So analysts told CNBC that 419 vessels are currently being rerouted due to the Red Sea situation. The total container capacity is estimated at 5.65 million 20-foot equivalent units, TEUs, or containers, with a total value of $282.5 billion, assuming that each container is valued at $50 million. How insane is that? The 419 boats this is affecting.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's crazy that 419 boats equals $282.5 billion. That's insane.
Yeah. 5 million capacity, 5 million containers. That's crazy.
Yeah,
insane.
That is insane. Vessel volume, here's the interesting thing. Vessel volume in the Suez Canal has fallen 61% to an average of 5.8 vessels per day compared to volumes before the Houthi attacks, according to logistics data firm Project 44. Wow. Egypt, who owns and operates the Suez Canal, charges between $500,000 and $600,000 per vessel transit. This is resulting in massive losses for a country that is already hurt by a declining tourism industry and soaring inflation.
Jeez.
I didn't know that was the toll for the Suez Canal.
Dude, that's a crazy toll.
That's huge. That is huge.
I mean, it makes sense if they're moving, huge amounts of, trillions of dollars of goods. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. But yeah, that's pretty funny. Do you reckon they have a toll booth? You have to put coins in.
Boom gate.
Hang on a sec. You're gonna put like $100 note at a time.
Yeah.
They have those buckets that you like throw coins into.
Yeah.
Although, yeah.
If you don't pay the toll, they just the ship's in the little canal. They just drain the canal and the ship's just stranded on the canal floor.
Yeah. Yeah.